what if I told you there are secret psychological triggers making you do things every single day, and you don't even realize it? We're about to show you exactly how they work, so you never fall for them again.
You think you're in total control of what you buy, right? That every choice is 101% yours? Yeah, that's cute. But let's be real for a second. Your brain is getting played like a violin.
So today, we're pulling back the curtain on the marketer's secret playbook. These are the invisible strings they use to pull at your subconscious. And I'm telling you, once you see them, you can't unsee them. First up, the halo effect. This is the simple, kind of unfair reason why beautiful things and beautiful people just seem better. It's a powerful little shortcut our brains absolutely love to take. I mean, look at this. You've got Christian Grey saying, "Take off your clothes," and bam, it's a billion-dollar fantasy. But the same line from a random dude in a stained t-shirt, that's not a romance novel, that's an episode of a crime show. It's the exact same words, but the packaging changes everything. That's the halo effect in action.
And this isn't just a vibe, it is hard data. In a real Facebook ad test, just using a more attractive AI avatar dropped the cost to get a new customer by a whopping 30%. Yup, pretty privilege is very, very real, even for AI.
You ready for the next two? Okay, let's get into a couple of triggers that make it feel like marketers are literally reading your mind. It's called confirmation bias. Just think about your social media feed for a second. When was the last time it really, truly challenged you? Probably never, right? It just agrees with you, and that is totally by design. The algorithm's entire job is to find out what you already believe and just feed you more and more of it. And here's how they use it against you. See, smart marketers don't argue with you. They echo you. It's a simple 3-step formula. First, they describe your problems so perfectly it feels like they're in your head. Then, they give you an enemy to blame, like the mainstream media or big corporations. And finally, they offer you hope, their solution, which now feels like the only real answer. All right, next mind-reading trick, likability. Okay, true story. I once bought a $150 eyeshadow palette I absolutely did not need. Why? Because the Sephora employee was just so incredibly nice. She complimented my outfit, she laughed at my dumb jokes, and then she hit me with, "You remind me so much of my sister." Does this sister even exist? Who knows? Probably not. But it didn't matter. She built that connection, made me feel seen, and I basically just threw my credit card at her. We are biologically wired to say yes to people we like. It's that simple. Okay, so what happens when you don't have time to make someone like you? Oh, that's easy. You just skip that step and use triggers that build instant, automatic trust. This is all about authority bias. It's the reason someone in a high-vis vest can pretty much walk anywhere they want. And brands do the exact same thing. They'll show photos of themselves on a stage, they'll give their simple method a fancy-sounding name, they'll plaster logos of big companies they've worked with all over their site, and they'll even make you apply to buy their product. It all just screams, "I'm an expert, you should trust me." And that leads us perfectly to our next trigger, social proof. I like to think of myself as an independent thinker, but the second I open a food delivery app, I become a sheep. I'm not taking a risk. I'm ordering from the place with thousands of 5-star reviews. Thank you very much. Because when our brain sees a big number like this, it just takes a shortcut. It doesn't analyze, it doesn't think, it just says, "Hey, look, everyone else is doing this. It must be good." It's the safe choice. It lets you follow the crowd without having to do any of the hard work yourself. All right, we're at the final two, and these are the big ones. These triggers are the oldest and most powerful, hardwired directly into our ancient monkey brains. So I was in Bangkok one time, and I walk into this super fancy chocolate shop. The guy gives me a free sample. Then another one. Then another. By the third one, I felt this overwhelming sense of obligation. I had to buy something. You know how much 2 tiny bars of chocolate cost me? $60 US. And that, my friends, is reciprocity. When someone gives you something for free, this ancient, deep-seated urge kicks in to return the favor. It's why Costco gives out all those free samples and why you get 1 million free guides online. They give first because they know you'll feel like you have to give back. And now for our final and maybe the most powerful trigger of them all. Picture this. You post something online. You get 100 positive comments, but there's one that just says, "Your video sucks." Which one do you fixate on? Which one do you remember hours later? Yeah, that one. That's negativity bias. Our brains are literally wired to scan for danger. It's how our ancestors avoided getting eaten. So the logical conclusion here is marketers should just use fear, right? Just point out the pain, twist the knife, and scare people into buying their solution. But here's the twist. Yes, fear works. It absolutely works. But look at the kind of people it attracts. You get customers who are desperate, skeptical, and operating from a place of scarcity. Hope-based marketing, on the other hand, attracts empowered people, true fans, the kind of positive energy you actually want in your life.
So what's the ultimate lesson here? It's really, really simple. Like attracts like. The energy you put out into the world is the energy you are going to get back, period.
So there you have it. You now have this secret playbook. You can see the invisible strings. So the only question is, as you go about the rest of your day, which one of these triggers are you going to spot first?